Good. Well, the new album, Wake Up Dead, is out very, very soon. I believe it's next week, April 8th.
Yeah, that's correct, man. We're super pumped on it. Everybody's talking about it. It's getting a lot of good attention, man. We're super hyped.
Yeah, I'm not surprised it is because the two singles that have been released so far, Deadbeat and Warsuit, they're really, really good. And they're so sort of like they both have a really good groove to them, but they're so different in and of itself. So it's a really good sort of display of the variety that's going to be on this album, or it would seem.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like one of the feelings with this new record was just each song kind of pushing a new realm for us, keeping the main structure of what we are and who we are, but just taking it a bit further, with the talent we have, how long we've all been together now. It just, it was fun. It was a fun time to make these songs and just feel, what we could do. I mean, acoustic guitar intros and, ripping solos. It's a dope album.
No, I'm really looking forward to hearing the whole thing. I do actually have it. I just haven't had the time to listen to it.
Shit. Hell yeah.
I'm going to fucking change that tonight. And as well as the songs being released, they've obviously both got music videos as well. And they're both really cool videos. It was obviously Deadbeat. It kind of lives up to the title. It's quite a fun video. It's I think we all saw a lot of ourselves during the pandemic in that video.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like the direction of the song. So we wanted that video to touch on that. I mean, we recorded it while we were still in quarantine. So, we were all in different locations, had to like film the stuff ourselves.
Yeah.
And then we sent it to like one dude to put the editing together. So the whole process was so different, but it captured exactly like you said, things we went through, laziness, forgetting to do the laundry, just smoking pot and, video games. So, very relatable song. And I think
Absolutely.
that fits with this whole album,
Yeah, especially if you're a lazy fat bastard like me that you just see every day in that video. It's just,
oh man, it's all good.
And obviously Warsuit as well has a little bit more of a narrative to it, with all the things happening in the school and all that kind of thing. Is this actual school you filmed in, or is this like a warehouse or something like that was done up?
This was all handled by the director. We were actually all kind of like doing tour stuff and whatnot. So he took the liberty to take care of filming most of it and handling all the work on it. And man, it turned out great. Again, a song that, touches on bullying, something that is such a big problem in this world today, from children to even adults now, with the use of online. I think it's just propelled that so much worse to, you can't stop lies. You can't stop, disinformation about yourself or whatever, and those sites, they don't take people's comments down. They don't do that stuff. They're just really bad at it. And to me, help engage in the action of bullying. So yeah, we wanted to shed some light on it, something I think a lot of us have faced and, dealt with in our lives.
Yeah, absolutely. As for the title of the album itself, again, the title is somewhat humorous, but not a complete joke. I mean, honestly, I got flashbacks to one of the scary movies where they're having an argument over how someone wakes up dead.
Yeah, we had, the title, kind of representing us, kind of like a rebirth type of thing, the zombie coming out of the ground, just the whole representation of that cover is us, the weed shirt, the rattlesnakes, the Arizona, appeal to it. So the title, it was something, that we've all said in some funny situations throughout touring. And it just became a feeling of where we were right now, ready to just excel to the next level, rebirth sort of vibe, with the whole team, the new label and everything that's been updated for us. It's been cool.
Yeah. I really like the artwork as well. It's a fun artwork. Like you say, it represents a lot of yourself, but it's also it's nice to see artwork like that as opposed to like dishwater gray fucking
Yeah,
picture of a
you know,
gravestone or whatever.
we've always taken these covers seriously, you know, from like people like Dan Seagrave to Andre Buzikov, who, you know, they specialize in that color, that depth, and, you know, always like a centerpiece, you
Mm.
know, of the entire record. So it's always big to us. And, you know, Brian Zellner, you know, knocked this out of the park. And, you know, he does colorful things for bands like Devil Driver and 311 and, you know, really cool stuff. And, you know, knocked it out of the park for this one, like you said.
Yeah. How did you come into contact with Brian? Was it just a simple case of reaching out to him, or was it some, like you say, you'd seen his artwork before for 311 and Devil Driver? So did you know like mutual contacts or something?
You know, I had never heard of him before. We were kind of doing a cover for ourselves. You know,
Mm.
we were the bass player was kind of doing it, so we were kind of in a different direction. And then our manager Dez just was kind of like, you know, I have this dude. Let's try something. He does kind of like what you're looking for, and you know, we talked with him and, you know, gave him the influence of this album and what it meant and what we wanted. And yeah, he drew that up like first take, and we were just all tripping and, you know, thinking of the shirts and like the backdrops and all that cool stuff. And, you know, when we were younger, that's how we found albums, you know, searching through covers, and that one just pops. Like you said, it's a cool metal cover, you know?
Yeah, it really is. It's fun because it's kind of like a throwback without being a cliche or dated. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
works perfectly
And
well for this day and age, but it reminds me a lot of like the old thrash album covers and stuff.
yeah, and I mean, that's what we, you know, all grew up on. That was our prime era of music. So, you know, we're influenced by that. So we're gonna always have, you know, ideas that stem from them, but create it into our own, you know, and that's the awesomeness of music and art, you know.
And as you mentioned as well, you've signed a new label. You're on Atomic Fire now, which is quite an interesting one because Atomic Fire, as I understand it, is kind of like what Nuclear Blast was a few years ago. A lot of the same artists are on Atomic Fire that were on Nuclear Blast. Incite, I don't think was signed to Nuclear Blast. So
Yeah.
there's quite it's almost an anomaly for Atomic Fire to have a band that they didn't work with previously. So how did this
Yeah.
partnership come to be?
I mean, a miracle. Like, you know, for us, we've always been with Minus Head, and they're a small indie label, but I've grown such a relationship with the owner. And, you know, over the last 10 years, we've created something from nothing, and it's been a hell of a ride. And, you know, he linked us up, and, you know, we started you know, communicating with Marcus, and, you know, they were getting ready to launch the label. And, you know, we kind of put everything on hold with the release and just let them kind of take over. And, you know, they were a thing that could get us more international and more distribution and more just notoriety being with these kind of artists. And, you know, we've grown so much that we needed this kind of a team. So to have the people he's put together, the bands, the just the passion that they have, you know, he was just heard this record and was like, damn, you know, how are these guys just not huge? You know, like that's my goal. And that was incredible to hear, you know, and have that kind of like backing. So um again, you know, just aligning of the stars, man. That's really how, at the end of this day, that's how this business is. No matter how good your songs are, whatever you're doing, you have to have a team behind you that's in sync, kicking ass, and believes in you. And now we have that fully, and they bring that. And incredible. Yeah, Meshuggah, and, you know, Opeth, and, you know, all these bands. It's just a trip to even be talking about being on a label with them.
Yeah, but I mean, again, though, listen, from what I've heard of the album so far, it's well deserved.
Thank
It's
you.
not through any sort of like fortuitous circumstances or friend of a friend or anything like that. It's you've got there on your own initiative and talent. So
Yeah, and I think, you know, we've done that with each record. You know,
hmm,
we started off as young little kids just trying to do what we thought we knew how to do it, and each record's gotten better. It's grown. The artists have gotten better. And yeah, I mean, since day one, we've never really used any kind of leverage to do anything in this. We've worked ourselves, we've gotten tours with Soulfly and whatnot, but that's really it. And at the end of the day, no matter what you do or what you propose, your music is what speaks the most volumes. And metalheads more than anybody are going to let you know if your shit's real or if you're just playing the fake game. So we love it, man. We're proud of where we're at and where we're going.
Absolutely, and rightly so. As for the album itself, obviously it's been a few years since the previous one. So what makes this a different album from Built to Destroy?
Oh, I think right off the bat, just the tuning. We went from a drop tuning to more higher now. We went from Drew, the former guitar player, writing nearly the entire record, to now having someone like Lennon, the drummer, writing a lot of guitar work, and Eli. So just off the bat, there's a lot of differences as far as the sound, the dynamics. The record's very organic and fresh feeling to me, and I think everybody that hears it kind of feels that as well. But, Built to Destroy was a great record, and this is just kind of the next step. I think, the vocal performance is better than anything I've ever done, in my opinion. Working with Steve Evans again, it's growing, and we're finding this groove and, trying new things as well as like maintaining who the band is. So yeah, I think the second you hear the first song, you're just like, damn, these dudes, they revved it up, there's no doubt.
Sweet. And what was the recording process like? Did this one take quite a while? Were you able to get together, or is it mostly separate?
It was cool because the quarantine started, and we were in tour mode, so we had to just completely switch. But the last two records we all made while living in different cities and using email, so it was really natural for us. We were very lucky to have done that process. And then the time, because normally you're touring, then you're trying to squeeze some songs and you're touring, and it was just the song. So we were able to focus for 5-6 months straight and really create and do the best that we thought we could with these. And then the recording came, and it was like you're in a bubble, you're wearing masks, it was so different. But having once again Steve Evans kept the process familiar to us, and made sure that we knew no matter what else was different on the outside, we were going to come through with something kick-ass, because he keeps you focused, he keeps the thoughts going, and that's always great. And that's why I think this record turned out so good in the end, was having him at the helm.
Very good. We've mentioned the singles, particularly War Soup. Obviously Max Cavalera's guest vocalist on this song, and I was kind of surprised that this is the first Incite album where he's appeared. Why did it take 13 years into the Incite discography before he appeared on an Incite album?
I mean, like I said, a little bit earlier, it was like, album one, we could have put him on there and got a lot of attention and did all this, but at that time the band wasn't ready. It's like, if we would have gotten all that notoriety, it would have just felt more like you said, a manufactured thing. And we were allowed to grow and become confident and just be musicians. And I think too, I was doing so many songs on his records over the years, it was just like, let's really just wait until the time's right. And with this song, with this album, Dez was like, let's do this, man. I think this song is perfect for it. So we brought him in, and he's singing my words and my structure. So I think it gave like an old school like Chaos AD feel to his voice and his performance, which I absolutely loved. And the whole band was just like tripping. He is who he is, and that's just a special thing to have on your album. And we've been lucky to have people like him and Kirk Winstein and Chris Barnes and Liam Cormier. Like we've always been fortunate to have really cool artists, and he's just a badass one for sure, and killed it on the song.
Yeah, he did. He really did. I think it's possibly his best vocal performance for quite a while, which sounds like I'm just going, oh, it's so good.
Yeah. No, I agree
true.
with you, man. It was, I think just having him sing different words and, you know, different structure from the usual kind of Max vibe that he's done over the years was, you know, just cool, different flavor.
Cool. And it's great as well because, like you say, Incite had to grow as its own unit and everything. And so it's got to this point, you know, by now, where people know Incite as Incite. You know, it's not just, oh, that's that band associated with Max Cavalera. It's just, no, Incite is a great groovy thrash metal, borderline death metal band, you know. So it's great. Just finally then, what's the plans going forward now? Do you have live shows booked? Are you hoping to come out across the pond at any point?
Oh, I mean, the UK, first and foremost, is one of our most important places right now. Mm-hmm. You know, when the pandemic hit, we were, you know, headlining over there, doing tours, Bloodstock, and, you know, it was really rolling. And that's like one of our most important things to do is get back over there. It's looking like probably September, October, we're going to come over there and do a support tour. It's going to be big. It's going to be rocking. Obviously, I can't announce who it is yet, but that'll come soon. Yeah. And then next week we do our tour for the album release. You know, we wanted to do something special. So we're going to Texas and doing 3 shows. They've always supported us. They've always been rocking. So we're going to go do that party. And then, a couple more headline dates, a couple festivals in Czech Republic. But I think after the summer, we're going to really hit it hard and, you know, not stop as far as, you know, all these bands, you know, rescheduling, doing their thing. And, you know, we're just focused on this album, man, and I'm just going to go from there.
Excellent. Well, again, from what I've heard, it's going to be a really, really strong album and something to really elevate Incite up to the next level. So with that being said, I do wish you the best of luck with this album. Best of luck with the live shows going ahead. Hopefully, I'll be able to see you when you come over this way.
Hell yeah, Oliver. I appreciate it. I appreciate you all so much. And all the metalheads out there, you know, stay safe. Let's keep going forward. And then hopefully, we'll be rocking in the pit soon, man. Wake Up Dead, April 8th.